Kevin, back-to-back victories, a 3-2 win over Peterborough Sports this evening at the Sears Stadium, but anybody looking at that without looking at the detail of the game wouldn't be aware of the swings that's gone back and forth in that game, with Jimmy Armstrong having to take over from Brandon Hall in goal after just a couple of minutes, and a red card for Jordan Piggott in the second half. The fact that your team had turned that round to a 3-1 lead after going a goal behind virtually as soon as Jimmy had taken over in net. It's hard to know where to start with that one.
It is. The game had a bit of all sorts, didn't it? But most importantly, you know, the way we went about our work after losing Brandon so early and Jimmy having to go in there, and the one thing you say is, you know, we've got to protect Jimmy and not allow them shots and moments, and, you know, with the greatest respect, you know, Jim's gone in there and done a brilliant job for us overall. It's not easy, and you know, he's faced with the guys, you know, he caught hold of the shot well, and it's gone between his legs, I think, and, you know, could have knocked the stuffing out of us, but it didn't. The rest of the lads, you know, they didn't feel sorry for themselves. They got on with the job and really forced all the issues, and, you know, some of the play in the first half was fantastic, and we should have been ahead at half time, really, no doubt about it. A lot, moment after moment after moment that keep coming, and going and making a save, hitting the bar, and we really should have taken the game away from by half time. Unfortunately that didn't happen, but we, you know, get ourselves back in it. Remy keeps going and finds a brilliant moment for us, and then another good one in the second half. Aidan again works really hard and gets a third for us, and then, you know, the game's turned on its head again with just an absolutely probably good at, I'm lost for words that to describe the moment, you know, the sending off on Jordan and then to award a penalty. I've seen it back, and if you're sending people off and you know, giving penalties for that, we're in a difficult place, because, like I say, I've seen it, there's nothing in it. But credit to the boys that, you know, they keep going and they dig in for one another. The subs get off the bench and work really hard and keep us fresh, and, you know, they stay well organised, and you know, Jimmy handles it really well, and yeah, we get through, and it was no less than we deserved. You know, we certainly deserved all 3 points there tonight. We could have had more goals, should have had more goals, and it would have been a travesty if we hadn't taken all 3 points.
Sure. You said the message, well, or obviously there was an instruction to protect Jimmy, which we'd understand, but your team seemed to do that by deciding that going on the front foot would be better, rather than, you know, just trying to, you know, camp around him and just sort of keep Peterborough at bay. So there was the mindset there. There was obviously that was positive, but some of the play that accompanied it as well. I mean, on commentary, we were. Well, some of the football was equally as good as was played against Spennymoor on Saturday, if not better.
Yeah, it was, without any shadow of a doubt. And you know, when you've got to put a sub goalkeeper in there, and he's not a regular goalkeeper, and that's always in the back of your mind. But we never afforded Peterborough another chance, certainly in the first half. And you know, it's going to balance out a little bit in the second half. But we were pretty much well relentless, and, you know, to get into a 3-1 lead, it didn't flatter us. And yeah, like I say, if we hadn't won the game, you'd have been questioning why. And I wouldn't say we'd had ourselves to blame. We could have scored more goals, but certainly, you know, the referees influenced the game more then than perhaps needed to be the case.
Sure. Obviously, the drama began early with the injury to Brandon Hall. What exactly happened with Brandon?
Yeah, I think the guys kicked him on his wrist, and he couldn't get his glove on. He couldn't, you know, slide his hand into the glove. So, look, it's unfortunate. We don't carry a second goalkeeper. I kind of trust in 2 or 3 of them in there that we've got, that they can go in should we need to. And, you know, again, it's, you know, maybe something to look at moving down the line. But yeah, we'll see how bad it is for Brandon. Hopefully it's not as bad as we fear. But yeah, look, we just wish him well, and hopefully he mends pretty soon.
Sure, he's gone off to hospital, so I get it.
Yeah.
Sure. You mentioned the dismissal of Jordan Piggott there and the penalty. Obviously, we won't go into that one any further, because I think your exasperation with the decision was fairly clear for people to see there. But it does mean that you're going to be without Jordan for the game now. He'll be free for Saturday at Chorley, I believe, because of the 7-day rule, but that will be out of the FA Cup game against Kidderminster. Is that right?
I guess so. I haven't really thought about it, and you know, I need to let the dust settle. You know, whether I think it's a second yellow card, isn't it? It's not a straight red. So look, you know, we'll have to let the dust settle on it, and you know, we will regroup Thursday and just see where we can go with it. Like, you know, if there was a I don't think you can appeal it, can you? So you know, we're just going to have to get on with it and deal with it as we do, and you know, make the best of the situation.
Sure. Obviously, Jimmy had to face a penalty this evening as well. And am I right in thinking, has he played in goal before, perhaps for you?
Yeah, he has. He's gone in before, and I think we won that game as well that he played in like, many moons ago. But look, he's a great character, and it's so difficult to go in that situation. You know, and hold your nerve, and you know, he's a confident boy, and you know, I don't have any qualms about putting him in there. Clearly, you know, you do need an orthodox goalkeeper, and it's just unfortunate we didn't have one on the bench there tonight, but it hasn't come back to haunt us. He's done brilliant for us, and we've got the 3 points, and that's the most important thing. We move on.
Sure. Yes, we move on to Chorley away on Saturday. I think they've lost this evening against Curzon Ashton, so you go into the back of the game off a couple of victories as well. So you imagine, given and the way that you know you could tell from the response from the crowd this evening and the players, they knew that was a big win in terms of sort of they faced some adversity there and have come through it yet again. So they've got to be going to Chorley in good spirits.
Yeah, look, the lads are working incredibly hard for one another, and have really dug deep tonight when we've had to. And we're in a position of comfort at 3-1, and you know then the decision's made and invites them back into the game, and we've got to batten down the hatches, which we did, I thought, really, really well. Look, Chorley's a tough place to go, but the boys are, like I say, working so hard for one another, moving the ball well at the moment. There's decent patterns of play coming out. There's that desire to get on the ball, and like I say, our quality. And the big thing for me over the last 2 games is we haven't made any mistakes, and we haven't gifted opposition easy, cheap moments. And hopefully we are learning. And the previous games where we have made mistakes, hopefully are behind us. I would say that we won't make mistakes again, but certainly have that bit of resolve. And the crowd getting behind us tonight and keep lifting us and cheering us forward was fantastic. And I know the lads love playing in front of the home crowd, and when we can have games and situations like today and come through it and pick up the 3 points, it's a joy for everyone to be a part of.
Kevin, congratulations on your victory tonight. Thanks for your time.